Right, so we have said that we have the rows spaced enough, wide enough that we can get the small hoe in, and now we want to space these so that I can get my small hoe in too, which is about 6 or 7 or 8 inches apart. So what we do is I dig a trench, lay them in like that with the roots pointing down. Roots pointing down. There's a couple different ways you can do this. Sometimes, if people want to, they can just shove these down like that with their fingers, lift them up, and backfill like that. I just find this a little faster, because we are planting quite a few at once. These are the bigger onions. These are the sweet Spanish onions. So I'm giving them a little bit more room than I would a storage onion. Storage onions maybe 5 or 6 inches apart. They're a smaller bulb, about like this. These ones are about baseball size. So I'm going to get my hoe. And I'll show you how I do this. These first 2 rows have already been filled in one way. I've just been doing this. Pack that down a little bit. And you can see how this is all pretty quick. My row is just a little bit off center now. I'm going to show you how I fix that in just a few minutes. Alright, I'm going to go over to the other side, and I'm going to push these back, and you'll notice now when I finish they won't be leaning on their sides anymore. It'll stand them up, and standing them up just helps them get a little bit more sun. They don't have to waste any energy getting straight. This one is a little crooked. Push them back up. There we go. Try not to damage them. And you can also straighten the row a little bit if you think the row needs straightening.
Did you cut the tops off?
Yes. Yes, thank you, dear. Good coaching. What I did too is, you'll notice these have the tops cut off. So I've taken our onions, and you can see how this is starting to grow up from the bottom again. So I just take this old stuff, cut it off like that, because they're going to die anyway, and these ones will grow up and be the main stalks. So, and also you do lose a certain amount of root when you're doing this, and it prevents them from getting shocked from not having enough root. So we go along, we prop them all back up, kind of nice, like we've done here. Yes, they're all done. Then what we do is we water them again, and as you can see, I've watered them a little bit before I planted, and I water them after I plant. So if you can just take a look down here, and you notice that this type of thing here creates a trench around the plants, and that's what I want. I want the water not to drain off into the aisleway. I want it to stay there, and the water will congregate in between these tiny rows. It'll make the roots search for the water, and they'll go out and search for the water, create a better root system. So that's how you plant onions. At least that's my way of planting onions. And you can see that I've got about 20 feet of row, about another 4 or 5 feet over here, 195 onions. So about 200 onions just in this little plot. That's a pretty good use of space.